ഹരി ഓം. എൻ്റെ പേര് അഗ്രിമ. ഞാൻ 21-ാം തീയതി കൊച്ചിയിൽ നിന്ന് സൈക്കിൾ ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് യോഗ പ്രൊമോട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ വേണ്ടി ലഡാക്ക് വരയ്ക്കും ഒരു യാത്രയിലാണ്. Okay. Hari Om, I would love to translate it, whatever I said just now. So, I have started on 21st of this month. We all know it's the International Yoga Day. So, I have started for promoting yoga from Cochin. You might be knowing it's in Ernakulam. I have started towards Ladakh with my bicycle. So, I started my journey at the age of 17. I was always a solo traveler. And from last 5 years, I'm practicing yoga. So my background is a scientific background. I am from a science. I have done my master's in medical biotechnology, and then later on, I have done PhD in molecular neurosciences. During that time, I had certain problems with my body, like I had some joint pains and sciatica, cervical spondylitis, those kind of things. So my friend, she took me to a yoga classes. So I joined yoga classes and I performed yoga for like 2 years. So I wanted to know something is different in it because it just cured my lot of problems. So I wanted to do a deep studies on it, and I joined my master's in yoga therapy later on. I finished it. I finished my degree, not the studies, of course. So I started spreading the benefits of yoga to different places. A lot of people, a lot of international people, a lot of monks. I taught yoga to a lot of monks. So basically, whenever we explain about yoga, it's all about asanas. Normally, everybody feels like yoga is asanas. So according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, it's just a limb. It's the third limb of yoga. So it starts with yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dhyana, dharana, samadhi. Most of you might be knowing it. So my journey was how it affects, because we all know how effective and how we can use it as a path of spirituality. But my journey was on research because I was from a scientific background. So I started learning about it, how yoga affects the human body. So my major work was on neuroscience. I was working on Alzheimer's. I was working with some of the protein with memory and Alzheimer's. So I started researching on quite a lot of papers, how yoga affects different physiology of the body. So different systems like endocrine system, digestive system, respiratory system. And finally, I started learning about, my major work was on neuroscience. So I started working with a lot of patients who was coming from psychiatry department, gynecology, ENTs, respiratory problems, diabetic, hypertension, quite a lot of patients. So we started dealing with them, and the results were enormous. So that's how I started working on research with neuroscience and yoga. I started working with meditation, how it affects the nervous system. So with this, I end here. So if anybody would love to ask me or share their own thoughts about things, so I would be it's my privilege to hear you all. Thank you.
one question.
Yes,
What
please.
is the difference between going gym and yoga?
Ah, there is lot. So, I'm just talking about one perspective, that is asana itself has asana sthiti, drishti, and breathing, which is not there in exercise or any kind of gym. So, it's very important to maintain the respiratory system first of all, because whatever happens to our, we have two, sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Whatever happens, it affects our breath first and cardiovascular system, that is cardiac output. So whenever we are maintaining our breath, it entire thing which is sympathetic converts into parasympathetic, because sympathetic system is more aggressive, the rajas is more into it. But when it converts to the parasympathetic, the nervous system it calms down. So the respiratory. Second is asana sthiti. Because we are giving a pattern to our body. Whenever the body gets into a stress level, it should maintain, it should go from sympathetic to parasympathetic. So we are giving a sympathetic thing to the body, but we are asking the body to train it into a parasympathetic. Reduce your breath, concentrate on your vision. So whole of the thought comes into a single thought. So it's very different from the exercise. I'm just talking a single perspective, that is asana. Thank you.
But in yoga it has diet following diet. Diet, food item, diet follow. Diet
Diet we have to follow.
in yoga.
Yes. Yogic diet is very different from the modern perspective of nutrition.
Because in gym also the master will say, you have to take this word, this word. That's why is there any difference between diet?
Definitely, because the diet is the major control, because 80% of our body is diet. What we eat, that is what we are. Every cell of ours is what we consume. So when we follow a yogic diet is more into the sattva part, because it improves our sattvika guna. So directly it is going to affect our nervous system, which is related to endocrine system as well. So when, unless you are not following a proper diet, yoga has very less effect on our body. If to get the maximum out of it, first one should follow a yogic diet and then after the yoga practices. Thank you.
They say yoga calms the mind. How does it?
Yeah. So basically, our brain has a normally people have 6,000 thoughts in a day, more than 6,000 thoughts a day, and all 5,000, more than 5,000 thoughts are unnecessary thoughts. So in any kind of, for example, if we go for any Indian martial arts, any Indian songs, any Indian instruments, everything has its own effect on different part of the body, like if we talk about subtle body or causal level. So it directly affects our chakras. So the body attains a tranquility. Tranquility is when the nervous system, we have certain neurotransmitters in nervous system which makes us aggressive, or which stimulates our angerness or sadness, or a stage of where our body, we have a lot of thoughts. So because of all these things, we have tranquility. We need to have a tranquility where our system releases dopamine kind of neurotransmitters, which gives us a positivity in simple terms. So yoga, the result of yoga is such positive neurotransmitters in the body, which just relaxes us, which do not bring us to that aggressiveness. That is why it gives calmness.
Next question is, give me any tips for IT employees. I give me any tips for IT employees because I am of the IT. During office time, I will eat I will eat lunch at only 3 o'clock. So it makes me on time food. So is there any tips for IT employees?
Prioritize.
Because we are working more than hours. Sometimes we work even after office, we went to home and we log in the system. So is there any, because we all get more stress than that. Is there any tips for IT employees?
It's true because everybody has, because whoever is working in a, especially in IT industry and all, my work was on IT industry actually. Most of the people have lot of uh, problem with their physiology
Yeah,
because they don't have time for themselves. They don't have time to sleep. They don't have time to eat. They don't have time to even to take a walk. They don't have time for themselves at all, especially ladies. They say that they are running all the day around for others. They don't have time for themselves. So at least have time for yourself, for yogic practices, meditation, and at least for minimum to have your mind on your foot and have it. That is the only thing which we are giving to ourselves, nothing else.
but pranayama exercise we have to do. Sometimes I will do pranayama exercise when the work is more no, in office. That time sometimes I will make my fix my mind by doing pranayama. Is there any regulation of doing pranayama?
Yes. So according to Hatha Yoga Pradipika and Gherada Samhita, we should start with Nadi Shodhana Pranayama first. Because the nadis has to be cleansed first before performing any kind of pranayama. So pranayama, if we have to have the full benefits of it, we should be doing it with bandhas, you know. So for bandhas, we should be practicing asanas like at least for 1 to 2 years, and then after we should put bandhas. So the pranayama always we should start with Nadi Shuddhi and then according to the body type, because everybody we our prakriti is different, our genetics is different, so every body types are different. So if I have a pitta increased in my body, I should be doing Shitali Sitkari. If I have a vata increased body, I should be doing Surya Vedana. If I have a kapha increased body, I should be doing Ujjayi Pranayama. And if my tridoshas are imbalanced completely, I should be doing Bhastrika for sure. So that's how it is been according to Hatha Yoga Pratibhika it is said. So according to one's body, we should be performing pranayamas.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
If nobody has questions, we will continue our program. Anything else you would like to say?
If anybody wants to ask anything else, so
You
I
can
would
tell
love to.
something useful for us.
For useful, because everybody's experiences are different. Everybody is well experienced because nobody can define others' life. So that's what I feel like. My experience teaches me, your experience teaches you. So I think we can learn from our experiences. That's what I could share. That's all. Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Vinay ji? He will do.
Bhajan, I know just singing. No, I don't.
Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri